Well, hello everybody. It has been a hot minute since I have been on here, and I'm not doing anything exciting today. I'm just inking tags, but I was sitting here and I was thinking, oh, I need to get on YouTube, and we're just chatting anyway, so I think I'm just gonna do tags and chat for a little bit and catch up with you guys. And you guys can work on your projects, and it's all good, right? I want to give a shout out to Dawn in Iowa. She's my newest patron, so welcome, Dawn. I'm excited because I am seriously considering moving to Iowa. So I see Iowa come across anything and I'm like, yay! Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. Where have I been? That's a good question. I have been sick, mostly. I just had a spring cold. I thought it was allergies at first, so I didn't think too much of it, but it did develop into a cold, and I was really concerned because I thought I was having a pretty high fever for a couple days, and I kept checking my temperature, and like I'd take Advil and it wasn't going down, and then it started getting worse and it said 104, and I was like, okay, I know I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but I'm guessing if my fever was 104, I would feel way worse than I do. I mean, I didn't feel great, but I didn't feel like I should go to the hospital or anything. So it occurred to me to change the batteries in my thermometer. And just like that, I didn't have a fever anymore. I couldn't even really believe it, so I sent my daughter to the store to buy a different thermometer so that we would have two readings to compare. And yeah, it just needed to change the battery, but I don't understand why the default thing to happen when the battery is low is that it reads an obnoxiously high number. Like, why isn't the default that it either stops working or has a low battery message or something like that? I don't know. But needless to say, I probably never had a temperature, so that was good. Just your average run-of-the-mill cold, and I think mixed with allergies because it is, well, it's always allergy season here in Arizona, but particularly right now. The Palo Verde are in bloom and all kinds of other trees, mesquite, etc. So, yeah. I'm trying something new with my phone. So usually I do all my recording on my phone, and usually I have the microphone end of things pointed towards the wall. And a couple people have told me that they have troubles hearing me if they don't turn their volume way up. So I thought I would turn my phone and see if the volume is any better. So you'll have to let me know if that's improved or not. Because my mouth is really right close to the microphone. So if that doesn't fix it, I don't know what the problem is. Yeah. So I am working on these tags for part of my Patreon Happy Mail. So I'm excited about that. Shipping day is getting close. Happy Mail goes out on the 15th. So yeah, if you're interested in signing up for Patreon, there's a link tree below that will take you there. I only have a couple spots left open this month. I think we're at 36 and I have 40 spots available, so there's a couple spaces if anybody's interested. Let's see, I had a huge book sale over the weekend. I listed so many books, I don't even know how many books, but I do know that I have over 50 books to ship out on Tuesday, right? Because the post office, I believe, is closed Monday. So tomorrow I will be boxing up books and getting those ready to go to the post office. So that's exciting. I have really been enjoying, I don't know, I kind of think of it as like being a personal shopper for people that want old books for junk journaling and collage, because that's kind of a niche market. I mean, I don't know how many of us there are, but I don't think we're among the masses. So I love that I can just work within that little niche and provide that service for people that maybe don't have the time or don't want to go out and search out these vintage books. It just makes me happy every time. I mean, I saw somewhere a statistic that said 320 million books end up in the landfill every year. And that just makes me so sad for so many reasons. So I just think every time I'm out there buying books and then being able to bring them to people, it's like saving them from the landfill. And maybe they wouldn't end up in the landfill, but you know there's a chance. So yeah, it makes me really happy to be able to do that and save these old books. I was talking to a lady at one of the book sales I went to. She was there shopping as well, and we were talking about how cool old books are, and she was looking at a totally different genre than I was, but I said, you know, it's just they're not making them anymore. And even the books that they are making now, when they get old, they aren't going to be like this because they're just different, you know. And she's like, exactly. So I don't know, there's just a part of me that absolutely loves that aspect of being out there and actively looking for them and bringing them to a place where they can get repurposed and reused and enjoyed. And I don't know, it just feels like part of my purpose in life, which is maybe silly, but you know, there's worse things. So yeah, that pretty much consumed my weekend. And I have more books to list, but I had to stop because I was afraid of what the pile going to the post office on Tuesday was gonna look like. Like, will I be able to walk? You know, I'm sure I've got a little cart that I can use to haul stuff into the post office, so that will help. What else? What else is new? Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. My daughter, my youngest daughter is turned 18 in January, but she lives with us, and I don't think she thought she was going to get an Easter basket because she's a grown-up now. But I surprised her this morning with an Easter basket, and she thought that was pretty fun. I just put her favorite candies and some of those little face mask things, and I don't know, just a couple fun little things for her purse. And I don't know, I still like putting an Easter basket together even if she is a grown-up. Yeah. All right, what else else is new? Don't really think of anything. Nothing interesting. Really, like, books have been my life. Well, and in this, I've been getting ready for this Patreon mailing. I really wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do this month, and then I finally came up with the design and got the prototype ready, and so now I'm moving full steam ahead on that, because, I have 5 days left? And I know y'all are very forgiving, and if I said I needed an extra day, you would totally give me one, but I try to be on time with things, all things in life. It's one of my things. I hate being late. Yeah. So I'm the kind of person who, if I show up 10 minutes early, I think I'm late. It's probably annoying to some people. I know I could have just put these in coffee dye, but for one thing, they're a little bit shiny, so I wasn't sure if they would even take a dye. And I just really wanted to leave the white space in the middle. These daubers, they shed as you use them, and it's shedding onto the tag itself, so I try and wipe that off. I hope I'm in frame. Not that it matters. I'm not really doing a tutorial or anything, but it would be annoying if I wasn't. So yeah, I went ahead and just committed to taking the tops off the strings. I just cut them right off. And then I put the strings in some coffee, so they're getting a little coffee dye right now. They're drying. And then I'm gonna restring them back on here a little differently than how they were on here. And the strings needed to be shorter for the project I'm doing anyway, so it made sense to just give them a little haircut and pull them all out and do it this way. I should have made a list of things to talk about. It is starting to warm up here, and I think I saw by next week we're supposed to have highs in the high 90s. I'm not super excited about that, but it has been a nice winter, so I really can't complain too much. And the hubby and I have plans to do a little bit of travel this summer to try and escape, just to get a break. I mean, we won't be gone all summer. We're not snowbirds or anything, unfortunately. But it's been many years since we've had a break, especially together. We haven't traveled together for a long time, so we're excited about that. I know most people think it's funny, but our big travel plans are going to the Midwest. Most people don't consider the Midwest a tourist destination, which is what makes it perfect for us. We like off the beaten path, quirky, small town type of places. That is our jam. We do not love the city, which is funny because we live very close to a city, but that's okay. I just saw a thing that said that Arizona there was a top 10 worst drivers list of the United States, and Arizona had 3 cities that made the top 10 list. No other state had 3 cities that made the top 10 list. I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that, because it is crazy out there. So Tucson, Phoenix, and Mesa all made the list. Pretty impressive. How do you guys think the drivers where you are decent, or I don't know, does anybody think that drivers are pretty good where they live? I would be curious to hear if anybody thinks that, because usually anybody that talks about drivers say it's bad everywhere. But apparently it's extra bad here. All right, well, that was fun. I did that. Got to say hi to you guys. I got to finish that. My next step is to do some stamping on these, so I'm gonna clean the little sheds from my dauber. There we go. I just don't want them flying loose around there. Even though I've totally just cleaned that with coffee, I understand that's not super smart, but anyway, these will dry super fast. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put them on like, so they were just strung through and tied at the top. I want to put them through here and do what Crafty Hope calls a lark's head knot, I think, like that. So I'm gonna go through and do that. Anyway, I hope you all are having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend, and I will catch you next time when maybe I'll do something more interesting.